Hey everybody, this is Joe. Thank you for watching my Giga Texas construction update video.
Well, welcome out to Giga Texas. As you can see behind me, it's quite foggy, and normally I do the intro after I fly the drone, but today I thought I'm going to go ahead and do the intro before I fly, so I don't really know what we're going to be seeing in the video, but hopefully we'll see some interesting things while the weather tries to cooperate with us. One thing I do want to point out, as you can see by this kind of a timing tracker that I'm having to count down until the Cybertrucks. Right now we're T-minus 39 days before the delivery event, and hopefully we'll see some indications today and then over the next several videos of the progress towards that delivery day. But otherwise, we're going to have some strange weather this week. It'll be a lot of rain, and I'm not sure exactly how much video I'm going to be able to do. So here we are, and let's give it a shot. So without further ado, let's get into the drone, let's fly around and find out what we see here at Giga Texas. As always, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. I hope you have a great week. Take care.
If you would like to support my efforts, please consider using these links, which will be in the video description. If you are interested in Tesla products, you can help yourself and support me by using my referral code. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons on my YouTube video, as this helps as well. Thank you. My drones are ready and raring to go. Let's go flying over Giga Texas. Well, as you can see, it's fairly foggy here at Giga Texas when I started the flight, but the sun was starting to break through, and very soon we'll start getting much clearer views. But I thought I would start on the northwest side. On the other side of the highway, I wanted to show you how the Tesla Road extension and this northwest area is looking today. And as I fly towards the west, you can see Tesla Road at the bottom of the screen. Also, some of the steel that continues to be stored on the right-hand side of the screen, and of course Lone Star concrete and the asphalt on the bottom left of the screen, which is not part of Giga Texas. But as I continue to pan the drone, you can see some of the earth-moving equipment that is here next to the road where they ripped up the old asphalt. They got that two-lane road right now in new asphalt that's being used for the traffic here. And this is a really good view, not only of the work that's going on with the road, but also take a look at the big depression here where a lot of the sand and gravel mining used to take place. It's pretty big drop off here with the dirt. But this is what the intersection looks like currently. The road with all of the traffic is Farm to Market 973. I'm going to look to the south, and you can see that there's concrete vaults lined along this road, and you can also see how much it's been widened, and all of this is going to be reworked, so it'll be a 4-lane road going to the north and to the south. Here's another view as I turn around of how the intersection looks right now. It's very hard to see because of the fog, but Giga Texas is right off the end of this road that you see in the middle of the screen. That is Tesla Road. And as I reposition to look to the north, this will give you a good view of how the road Farm to Market 973 is also being widened here as well. So once all this is completed, it will significantly increase the traffic throughput on this part of Giga Texas and serving the factory, which I think will be really great to have just because it's such a bottleneck here right now. As I mentioned, there is a lot of steel that continues to be stored here in this field. Some of it was used for the end-of-line facility further to the south on the West Support Facility area, and so all of that is now gone, but we can also see quite a bit more still waiting here for some future installation. We even see some bridge crane rail systems as well here, all kinds of different beams, some columns, some what looks to be decking for roof or walls, the steel decking, and the welding shop has been removed. Now we have some more of the steel and concrete parts, plus some plastic tanks, all being stored in this particular location. Now again, it's really hard to see because of the fog, but Giga Texas is in the upper left-hand corner of the screen. You can just barely make out some of it, of the road that separates this area and Giga Texas. This is the north staging location. Some of the windows that were removed on the south side are being stored here on the bottom right. A lot more of containers, all kinds of different kinds of equipment that is being stored up here. The 2 tents, and also all of the landscaping material that was stored here, including the plants, has been relocated to the north, and I'll show you where that is later in the video. But as we look across the highway and get ready to resume the flight over there, you can get a good idea of how much of the fog is still around and how it's starting to lift. In fact, here you can see quite a bit better view through the fog to Giga Texas. It's rapidly clearing now. And I thought I would take this opportunity to show this part of the west side of the facility. All of the trucks lined up in the receiving doors, and that's really great because this is what's part of that warehouse on wheels process of supporting and supplying materials for the General Assembly. Here's a good look at more materials waiting for being unpacked and moved inside for assembly. And this is right in the area between where General Assembly and the 4680 cell section meet up. Now, as we continue to fly towards the north, we'll wrap around the northwest corner, and I'll show you some additional work that's going on in the north end of the building today. Here we see a lot of activity. I'll give you some idea what we're looking at. The steel that's being used inside to continue to build out the production capabilities for the 4680. Some of the windows have been removed, as you can tell. Underneath the taller platform, another wall section was removed recently, and they're using this as kind of a garage door for vehicles to drive in and out of. And on the right-hand side of the screen, we can see that there's been steel added for a second floor in that area. Now, they are building out more production capability, and ultimately there should be somewhere between 6 and 8 lines for 4680s. Currently, 1 is operational and 3 are in final assembly and testing right now. On the northeast corner, we can get a good sense of some of the deliveries for the Mino automation equipment, some of the casting racks, some castings for the Model Ys, some more equipment on the berm here next to where the plastic is on the berm. Also, this is where the electrical conduit goes to the electrical switch yards being run. This is a good view into where the casting machine structure is having the new furnace finalized, the windows replaced with the vents on this side. Some of the vents have actually been removed, and you can see at the bottom right of the screen. And I think that they're just doing some additional work to finish the installation inside of that furnace. On the roof, we see more of those rectangular bases for the ventilation shafts, and of course the ducted fans that will help bring the airflow through those vents and help cool the casting machine structure and the furnaces, which are directly below the drone. So now that it's cleared up to the north, I'm going to fly up towards the Megapack site. We'll go over Tesla Road here at the bottom of the screen, and we'll talk a little bit about some of the final details that are being made here. Now, Drew Baglino just recently toured through the Megapack site, and he even mentioned at the third quarter financial results meeting that the system is nearly completed. And here you can tell the gravel mix has been spread along the entire infield where the perimeter fence is. Now this is serves as kind of an insulating function for workers, and it helps to dissipate any electrical charges that may happen and it could cause injury to people. So that's why there's that gravel. There's still some more gravel next to this gray trailer and the central fence that needs to be put down, but we can also see more of the gravel work has been completed in the north steel structure here with all of the electrical equipment and that large transformer. Again, this section has got the wrapping on it. This is where the large wires goes through the conduit to the north and connects up to those tall power poles for the grid. And as I mentioned previously, some viewers have told me the reason why that they're doing this is that they need to make sure that these connections are kept as clean as possible without any contaminants or moisture. And we see even a device pumping in drier air into that area as well. So this is what the Megapack site looks like today, with all of the fencing, most of the lighting, and the gravel and the electrical connections completed. This is very close to being a system that can be tested and then commissioned. And we're going to fly up over the power lines. I want to show you the temporary electrical switch yard. This appears to be completely de-energized now, and some of the equipment has been removed, and other equipment is most likely going to be removed in the near future as well. At the permanent electrical switch yard, there is some news as well. The large transformer on the left, as you see here, is functioning and powering Giga Texas. The one on the right now has all of the wiring connected. You can see that in the bottom left of the screen. And pretty much everything that is needed, other than the final electrical conduit connections at the wall on the east side of casting, are all completed. So very soon we'll see the breaker bars that you see in the upper right-hand corner of the screen connected. Once that happens, then we know that the electrical switch yard is fully operational now, at least on bays 1 and 2. The third bay, which is the one closest to the drone, is what will be serving the Megapack site. So once the Megapacks are online, that should be as well. Now, as I mentioned, on the north end, we see where the other wires that go through the conduit and connect to the north part of the Megapack emerge here through the scaffolding, and they're getting ready to prepare for the final connections here as well. Now, the gauge of the wires being used is very large here. You can get a chance to see the spools on the left, those black spools, and just compare the size of those to the work truck, and gives you a really good sense of scale. And of course, it looks like they're using more of the plastic wrap here, probably for the same reason that they're using the plastic wrap near the north part of the Megapack as well. So I'm going to reposition the drone to give you a good view from here back to the Giga Texas, and then we're going to fly up to the north. And I want to show you where the landscape materials that we mentioned earlier have been moved. And it's a new site that I've covered once before, but I'll show you again. It's just to the north of this mobile batch plant. And you can see it here amongst the trees. You can see some fence lines. You can actually see some of the plants in the planters arranged on the west side, some containers, some irrigation pipes, those kind of purple pipes on the right-hand side of the screen, and generally what this area looks like. So they've segregated all of the landscaping materials up here away from the west side, and we'll probably see more work here in the near future as well. So I'm going to reposition the drone up to the far north and give you a view of some of the sections of Giga Texas we don't normally see, and also we'll go up and take a look at the remnants of the old farmhouse. Also, I did want to mention that because I'm filming this on a Sunday, there's the Formula One race going on at the Circuit of Americas just to the south of Giga Texas, and because of that, there is a lot of helicopter traffic flying directly over Giga Texas. So because of that, I'm altering my normal flight pattern today. So you'll note that you're going to be seeing a lot of different views in different locations, mostly because I'm trying to stay away from the helicopters that are flying very low over Giga Texas, going back and forth to Circuit of Americas and up to a airport just to the northwest of Giga Texas. Now, this is the old farmhouse. I mentioned that it has been demolished, as you can tell. It does not look like they've come back to fix any other portions of this site, nor pick up a lot of the refuge. So it just looks like it's still kind of waiting for final cleanup. But if you look in the far distance on the top of the screen, this gives you a great idea of just how far to the north we are from Giga Texas. That large field is where a road is going to go from east to west, and also where a North Logistics lot is, at least there's permits for it to be constructed in that area. As we fly further to the south east along this north part. And again, everything that you see is still Giga Texas property. We're flying over this tree belt and sort of this triangular open section. And then we'll see that large field in the top of the screen. This is what I call the Lone Tree Field. There's a lot of dirt road traffic that you can see. They've been taking some dirt from the excavation that is happening sort of in the middle top of the screen, and they've been putting some of the dirt up in this particular area as well. In addition to that, sort of on the south part where you can see all of those structures and equipment, that's the rental equipment yard, also where they do maintenance. And nearby here is also where that new road will eventually come through the tree line on the left, through that clearing you see in the center, and then off to the right through that large field. All of the concrete panels that you see displayed here are what was cut and broken up and removed from the south end of the building to start the extension process that we are seeing now. And then here we can tell that more of the excavation work is underway, more of the trees have been removed. A lot of this dirt, in addition to going to the north, is also being picked up by these large dump trucks and moved to the east side of the battery cathode plant, which you can see in the upper right-hand corner of the video image. And they're using that to reclaim quite a bit of the east side, as you can start being able to see on the upper left of the screen. More dump trucks coming up here to pick up the dirt and bring it back. There has been some stored here next to that large pipe on the left, which used to be the old bag plant exhaust pipe, and that bag plant used to be where the new permanent electrical switch yard is located. And as I mentioned, you can tell here where the grade is being increased on this east side. Looks like they may be just building a very large water detention pond. In fact, you can see some water in it right now. So that may be what the purpose of all of this dirt and earthwork that is going on here on the east side. Now on the west side of the battery cathode plant, we can see work on that lift station continues. More of the steel corrugated pipe is being installed into trenches on either side of the die shop. On the left-hand side, on this chiller plant, we can see two of the Evapco fan units are now operational. You can tell that they are moving. My previous video, we saw one of them moving, so it looks like they're bringing this chiller plant slowly onto line. We also see some work on that conduit, the road work, more of the concrete on the right-hand side of the screen, and in the middle, in that excavation, more of that steel corrugated pipe. I'm going to bring the drone back over the building, give you another view of the east side. A lot of the exterior wall panels have been installed in the east side of the battery cathode plant, with just a few remaining openings. And then here is the continued work on this fill of the dirt that we talked about, and that new water detention pond that looks like what they are constructing now. As we fly over the temporary kitchen that serves the employees of Giga Texas, we can also get a good sense of how this side of the factory looks today, and how the factory looks in the distance. So let's get ready to fly over the warehouse on wheels and take a look at the outbound lot. Next to the trailers that you see in the center of the screen, there's been a lot of cleanup here. Most of the equipment and other items have been removed, so it's just these two original trailers. In addition to that, we can see that underground manifold. It looks like more of the concrete and formwork is finishing up. Now, the new car outbound lot is very empty today, and most likely because it is a weekend, but also because I think that they are still working on ramping back up after all of the General Assembly lines and other line upgrades. We do see 3 Cybertrucks here today. These look like these are new ones. They are clean. There was one here yesterday and on Friday that looks like they had been doing mudding on it. These 3 look like they are very clean, so they're most likely not being driven around the site, certainly not on the mud right now. But as I continue to move the drone around, this gives you a really good view of the three from the side. And also with some of the diffuse lighting, it gives you a nice view of how the three look right now today. And again, not a whole lot of Model Ys in the outbound lot. And we also see the testing and calibration lot is fairly empty as well. And not a whole lot of the cars in the superchargers, but we do see one Cybertruck in the superchargers today as well. Now again, there's a lot of helicopter traffic flying directly over where I'm with the drone, so I'm going to be altering my flight path a little. I want to give you a good view here of the footing work that is underway for the multi-level parking garage, and I'm going to continue to work my way to the east to get out of the path of the helicopters. But while I do so, this is a really good view along the entire length of this construction site. Now most of the concrete work and footings are on the right. In the middle is where we see the geopier work continuing to work its way to the east. And again, these are piers that are installed into the ground in such a way to provide a lot of the strength and stability that the footings will eventually need. They'll be built on top of the piers, and then that will support the structure. The steel corrugated manifold is still continuing to be developed here. I think that this eventually will have a road over the top of that, and then it will be a north to south road here on the east side that will connect the New River Road on the left and also the regular road by the outbound lot on the right. And we can also see more preparation here for the steel corrugated pipe installation, as well as the geopier work. You can see the forms of the dots on the ground making those piers, and they're doing it in a shape to support, again, those footings. And of course, the footings have rebar, and the cages are being manufactured here in the middle bottom of the screen. So as we continue to work our way to the south, this is a good view of the southeast side of the building. You can see that the corner has had most of the white stain work put on those new panels to replace the windows that were removed. The footing excavation and preparation work is definitely growing and working its way to the south and now to the west along this side of the construction site. And we also see some more of those tanks waiting for installation soon inside of the building. As I fly up over the top of the building, I'll give you a good view down at how the footings look. Also, this Stamping 2 extension has had almost all of the weatherproof membrane and the insulation panels installed now. And they're also working on the scaffolding to put the textured material onto the wall panels and get it ready for painting as well, which you can see is underway. Some of the brown and darker gray is waiting for the paint. We can see some more of that applied. And here is a good lower-round view of the footings that continue to be installed. The triangular ones on the right show the angled corner and how this is going to eventually just extend the entire length of the building out. And again, I'm going to wait to see how it's all connected. But Giga Texas uses a structure within a structure construction methodology. And we can see that with the rest of the construction as well, where some of the individual sections inside are almost standalone, but they're all under one roof. So we'll probably see that construction style continue on the south. Now we've passed over the road. We resumed the flight here. You can tell that the road on the left has had most of the grade work done and some of the topsoil on top of the geotextile membranes. That's the material that supports the ground, and you can see the two different colors of the dirt here. All of this eventually will be paved, and it all connects into this new outbound lot that we can see on the left. And the end-of-line facility is also continuing to progress quite quickly as well. And it looks like the wall panels are almost all on the south side, so that end will be connected and covered soon. Now, as I reposition the drone over the materials and the trailers, I do want to point out that the large HDPE pipe has been partially pulled underneath the road. You can no longer see it here on the left. You can see the stands with rollers that was used to help pull it through. And then here you can see the amount that remains to be pulled underneath the road. And it's got about half of it already pulled. And we'll look at the other side of the road shortly so you can see where it will be exiting. But this is a good view of the north end of the end of line, some of the conduit work with the electrical conduit on the right trenching. And then here is a good view showing that HDPE pipe bending down through into the ground, going through that bore underneath the highway. And as I pan up, this gives you a good idea of how this looks right now. So as I reposition the drone, I'll get ready to cross over the highway one more time. And once I do, we'll look back where we just came from, and then I will pan down and show you what the operation looks like pulling that large pipe through. And you can see the drill here. Right now the pipe has been disconnected, so they're not actively pulling right now, but you can see segments of them stored between those two large yellow items. And hopefully, maybe by the time I come back later this week, that will be completely pulled all the way through. But otherwise, that's a quick view of what started out to be a foggy day here at Giga Texas, and now the sun has come out, the fog has gone away, and what the activity looks like here today. As I mentioned, the rest of this week's going to be difficult weather with a lot of rain and thunderstorms in the area, so we'll see how that all works out. But otherwise, thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate your support, and as always, I hope you have a great week and take care.